Oh, Ros, I mean, it was very special tonight. And what a change from back in September, when Her Majesty passed away, and the difference in the uplifting nature of such a parade. And I was saying to the Chief Minister earlier, I think this is the first time that we've had tri-service guards on the convent, Navy, Air Force and Army, to guard the convent. First time we've had such a parade that has included emergency services in all three services. And in particular, what always overwhelms me is that we had the mass bands of Gibraltar, which is the Royal Gibraltar Band, and then, of course, the Drums and Band Association, then the Sea Scouts, pipes and drums. Absolutely fantastic. And what a way to start this coronation weekend.
Yes, it really does sound like Gibraltar is setting the tone, Chief Minister.
Yes, and I think you have to remember that although this might seem like just another Gibraltar parade, look at the solemnity of the event when we saw Her Majesty pass away, and look at the global reach that had. GBC's video of that event has more than 1 million views, which demonstrates that this matters beyond Gibraltar. People are looking at Gibraltar and how we celebrate these things. And today, probably the first of the coronation parades in any of the overseas territories, perhaps even in the United Kingdom, I think we've once again demonstrated how Gibraltar embraces these issues, how it reflects the umbilical nature of the relationship between Gibraltar and the sovereign, the United Kingdom, our sovereignty, the King of Gibraltar. And for me, I want to just extend a thank you on behalf of the government and people of Gibraltar to everyone who marched today. Every Gibraltarian, every non-Gibraltarian British citizen who was out there as part of the armed forces, as part of our essential services, as part of those bands who put in a lot of rehearsal to get that just bang on and just right as they have. And we all need our strepsils now after that hip, hip hooray, which was so heartfelt from everyone in that square.
Indeed it was. David, let me just ask you, transitions between kings and queen historically has always been a difficult time. And we have seen some anti-monarchy feeling against King Charles. He has certainly got big shoes to step into. There was so much affection and warmth and respect for Her Majesty, the Queen, the late Queen. So tell us your thoughts at this transition time and the future of the monarchy. Where will it be?
Well, there never is a transition. Under the British unwritten constitution, as soon as a monarch passes away, a new monarch steps into the shoes. And we must remember that King Charles has been Prince of Wales for so many years. We know him, we know everything about him. And so I don't think there has been a transition. But what I think he is doing is bringing a bit more of a modern flair. He's a modern king from a modern era, and you can see that in the way that he's reaching out to people, and he's bringing all his 74 years of experience to the fore. And yes, of course, there'll be some. I think there were some in 1953 that would have been against the monarchy. There will be some this time in 2023, but I think overwhelmingly people will feel great affection for King Charles and Queen Camilla as they embark on this awfully difficult job. As I said to you only a few days ago, my goodness, the burden of responsibility falling on somebody like King Charles and his Queen is enormous. And on that special day, all he will be looking for is the heartfelt support of everybody as he goes into this very difficult era in his life.
Chief Minister, I must ask you, you talk about that umbilical cord between Gibraltar and the Crown, but, it's undeniable the fact that perhaps the younger generation aren't as much into the monarchy as perhaps the older generation. Does that, how does that bode well for Gibraltar and its sovereignty going forward?
Well, I think I have to disagree with you. I think that perhaps younger generations are concentrating on the things that younger generations always concentrate on. When I was 18, 20, 25, I was more concerned about whether the tape had got caught in my then car than about issues like the monarchy. I studied those things as a lawyer, but I didn't really care. My instincts might have not been to support a monarchical system. But once you get into the part of your life where you become a leader, whether you're a chief minister, whether you're leading an industry, whether you're leading your family, and you're analyzing how your society works, and you try and identify a system that might work better than the British constitutional monarchy. Let's not just talk about monarchy. The British constitutional monarchy, I think you'll be hard-pressed to find a system that works better. As the governor has said, we have seen what is so seamless a transition that it is not right to call it a transition, because it is one unified move from one sovereign to another, the crown passing without there being any moment where it falls. And that for Gibraltar is hugely important. That's what preserves our sovereignty. So I in fact would put it to you that actually young Gibraltarians now will want to see the monarchy continue because of the way that it preserves Gibraltar's sovereignty in a way that is unquestionable, unblinking, in the same way as it preserves the sovereignty of the whole of the United Kingdom and the British family.
Gentlemen, one very quick word, if that's at all possible. Looking ahead to the coronation on Saturday, you're both going to be there. Just tell me what will be going through your head.
Well, I will be looking for my hip flask because we've got to be there 2 hours beforehand, and I know Fabian will want the packet of crisps, so we will be taking that. But I think what's going through our head is the magnificence of the occasion in Westminster Abbey that has seen the crowning and coronation of kings and queens for 1,000 years. What a moment in history.
Well, for the first time in 1,000 years, a representative of the people of Gibraltar will be present when the monarch of Gibraltar is crowned. So I will be hugely proud to represent the people of Gibraltar. I'll be very nervous to make sure that I don't do anything that would embarrass Gibraltar. I've got the governor with me to make sure I don't, except if he starts offering me crisps he's going to do for my diet, I'd rather have a protein bar. It'll be a very proud moment for all of Gibraltar, I know, and for me in particular to represent the people of Gibraltar there.